Perfect, perfect. So three, two, one. We start with a clap. Assalamu alaikum, people listening and watching. You're tuning into the Let's Walk podcast. I'm your host Atar Rahman, and today I'm joined by Adrusta Deepak. He is someone who works in the mortgage industry, upcoming dubbing artist.
Imda, Dozra tell me, Hartabos crack wickinem bumla, Minazuku, Wakwe, Unukasta, Mini Pizra, Rukwe, Min Bahatta, Zarkinim, Min Mahaki, Hos Namatishwike, Rajur Har.
And Deepak bhai, thank you for coming onto the show.
Thank you very much, Rahman.
And uh, maybe we could start off with how we met each other. And I have a story about I think I came on the second day of volunteering on TEDx for the TEDx Hyderabad 2022 training, and we saw like there's a Kriya team and there's like three different people, and this and that's how I saw this one guy with a deep voice, and he's telling like we should do it that way or this way, and I guess that's how I saw you for the first time. And do you have the same thing or is it different? Like one of the volunteers or something like that.
True, true. So it is a pretty interesting thing, which, if I can say, I talk about is volunteering. Everywhere across I go, to different places in terms of volunteering. It is my own interest or my own initiative that I do participate in these kinds of activities at first. And secondly, on the very day which I met you in a group of people, it's really amazing to see, people, new team, and new things right there. So organizing things or making some part of event, some initiative to an event is not that easy. It's actually everybody's hand, all hands in one place put together, we come up with some sort of event. That's quite interesting, to actually have you in that particular group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't even know like how I came into Kriya. Like when I first joined Kriya, like it was out of surprise. I don't even know how I got selected for TEDx Hyderabad volunteering and everything. Things kind of flow so organically that sometimes you're like, whoa, wait a second, why am I over here? But then it's like that's how it's meant to be, you know.
True.
And why don't you probably start off with your journey, like from college, or how like what was your career path? Like you have a very unique interest. You go into volunteering, you're in the mortgage industry, and you're upcoming dubbing artist as well. So why don't you start all the way from college? Like let's go from the starting.
Definitely, definitely. It's not a unique kind of experience or ups and downs I could have, but I say that it's just exploring things. Right from my initial stage, if I can start about right from my 10th standard, I was into this initiative called volunteering. Okay, be it some kind of class volunteering, taking up an initiative, be it some off school volunteering, there again taking some initiative right there. So I used to engage in this co-curricular activities which I had in my schooling age. And then the very next moment is my college. So yep, I was a normal college grad. So once my college is done, I did start up with my MBA. I did pursue my MBA masters, and then yeah, it's a normal thing which everybody does is a job. Go get a job. So this was on the go. So once complete your MBA, just get up some job. So in the meanwhile, I did actually happen to try different things. I was into organizing things, and I'm an event organizer. Secondly, a social activist, and then from the past 2 years, I'm actually into dubbing. So dubbing and voiceovers. So this journey, step by step journey, activist, and then so I really had the joyful moment or the or to enjoy the moment in everything. Be it volunteering, it's meeting new people, meeting new groups, meeting everybody like at the particular point of time, different mindsets. I had this something called exploring things with different like-minded people. That's really interesting to know, in everybody's journey, or in my journey for that matter, like meeting and creating a network of different like-minded people is really, amazing to go further. So this journey is not so long, very short. I just started, and it's super amazing to get or have a good network of people who actually encourage. For that matter, my parents, they're not like, hey, Deepak, you have to study this, you have to go with this, just catch your works, go get a degree. This is not the way. I just did what I wanted. You know, that's missing. I could see that is missing in days now. So they encouraged me to get to do whatever I want, to actually learn things, to explore things in every corner of the place. And yeah, that's where here I am right now.
So we can, probably fast forward, and why don't you tell us about the process of, volunteering for TEDx Hyderabad? We got lucky because, we had an entire team, dedicated to, so like I could fit in and somewhere, sneak in into the group and everything. But then like what happens when, people from outside, like people who generally want to volunteer, like what's the process? How did you like, eventually become a volunteer for TEDx Hyderabad?
Sure, sure, sure. At the first, I think I've been there for four couple of events so far in the volunteering aspect of TEDx Hyderabad. We represent a team of Hyderabad, and it's like in the beginning, you just have to have that particular initiative to be in a team. First thing, to work with a team, to grow with a team. So it's just a 2 days activity which we learn, which we do. Something, some sort of some stuff of organizing that period tasks and all. To get into volunteering is not a big thing. It's just normal. You will have to enroll yourself at first with a given document, a Word document, and then you will have to make sure that why do you want to volunteer? So why do you want to volunteer? So if that is solved, it's everybody's task that they can actually initiate in this kind of thing. So probably I did represent from 2019, if I'm not wrong. So and till now the journey is going on. So as a part of volunteering, we have some 3 days of session which we have, and then it goes on step by step till the final event. That is all planned by the core team members, and yeah, that's how we do.
So why don't you tell us why do you like volunteering? Because you've been volunteering in NGOs and everything. We'll go into that in a bit. But what is the main intention? Obviously, TEDx Hyderabad is where you get all the bade log, like when you get to hang out with all the bade log, easy access and everything. That is one reason. But then, if you say that, you probably get disqualified out of the volunteering thing. But then, like, what is the intention, or what do you think, volunteers, what are some things that should inspire volunteers, or should have, or should look up to be a perfect volunteer, or like whatever that might be, TEDx event, or, NGOs, whatever that might be.
So first thing is, so why, if you ask me, why do I wanted to volunteer? It's like, I told you, right, from the 10th standard, I have this, initiative to take up in each and every activity which was around me. Which was around me, I could do that. Which is not around me, I don't know. It's not my thing. So in this kind of initiatives and all, I was a part, meeting teams, organizing things, meeting like-minded mindset people, you know. Now, if you ask me why, the question why is like, I just wanted to, engage my particular time of my time. It's actually the me time, they say, right? So that me time, I wanted to engage in some or the other activities, which will be again a fruitful thing. Now, anything for a cause, yep, it will be my first hand that I raise my hand and say, hey, Deepak is here and you can count me in. So I have been working with different NGOs right now, be it Sahaya, be it a Little Smile organization, be it TEDx Hyderabad for that matter, be it Daksha Foundation, and so on and so forth, for that matter. Like these kinds of things really make me happy. Like, being in a group, taking those small little things. They don't give you much of things to put on for the day, but little things which we actually can do and enjoy that particular event. It's really super interesting to let know that I don't actually remember the exact number of events I've done so far. So it's just a passing cloud, I can say. One after the other, one after the other. It's all with my network, and I really thank for that team and every individual who are within my network.
So that's something, you got pretty interested into when you started off with volunteering. And like you
Correct.
said, whatever is around me, I would love to get involved in that positive impact. Whatever is not around me, I can't help it, right? Because the geographical location and everything, right?
Correct.
So, how has volunteering changed you as a person, or like what did volunteering teach you? I mean, like you've been volunteering for so many years, be it non-profit, be it, like different events, TEDx Hyderabad, whatever that might be. Uh, what has that, taught you as a person, or how has it changed you as a person?
Yes. That's really great question, Rahman. So being a person, I somehow have some sort of, the stage fear. you know in my schooling stage, I was like, I was kind of afraid to talk to people. They tagged as some word called introvert, some kind of thing. It was not actually, I don't involve with people, much of people, when I was in my schooling. And it's like, days passed. There's some event which I actually had been to, some kind of motivational event, if I remember. I don't remember exactly, but that really changed me. So what change it brought, it is like, why don't I be, a person in the group? Why don't I, organize things? Why don't I actually talk to people, engage with people or connect with people for that matter? So this actually changed me all of a sudden. And the very next moment, I was taking part in all the activities, whichever are there. And it's really surprising to see me that now I do not have any sort of stage fear. First thing, with respect to communication, I had improved a lot. So improved. Still now, I feel that I'm not that much of, a communicating person. I really improved my communication skills. And then third thing, from the personality aspect, it really teaches a lot many things, right from the start till the scratch. Given a chance, if you have or have happened to take up an event, how do you organize that? How do you take that leadership? How do you actually, complete that particular task in the given deadline? So these things really matters. There is a saying which says big things happen when we do small little things. So these things are all small to make up something big. So that's how, my interest or, my passion is about, this kind of things. But now, due to some time constraint, I'm not of much into the active things of volunteering. So I'm still trying to engage my time the best possible way. Yeah.
So you're saying that volunteering has made you appreciate the small little steps and, focus on things like leadership and your communication.
Really, yeah. True. It's like, if I can say, this the normal routine thing which you do every day will not make any sense. Okay, I just go take my books, study, come back, do some stuff, whatever I like. Okay, done for the day. So what is that? You're out of your box or out of the second space. The space is already set. It's how you're going to move from your space to the second space or the second step for that matter. I term it as, the volunteering is something, a second space for, us to actually give something to the nature, give something to, the people around, give something from ourselves, our time, or something for that matter, really makes a lot of difference, you know.
Yeah, so there's lot of things to learn from volunteering, like even especially with NGOs, like how has that helped you, like broaden your perspective or
True,
that thing?
true.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. So something, it's we have a group of techies who join together, and it's there from pretty much of 6 years plus now. And we people gather at one particular place. We take up some NGO, which is not known to people much. It's like, so you have a NGO nearby your place. Everybody goes to that particular place. People who find it far, let's say 50 kilometers right from my base location, or 60 kilometers right from my base location, people don't tend to go, hey, it's super far, yeah. Why do I actually have to go there? So this kind of difference comes in between, and they tend to avoid that. So we find those particular locations, and you know we jot down it, and then we try to find what is the requirement. Now if it is an NGO which is nearby, I think everybody goes to that, and they're okay with whatever basic needs or basic necessities which they have. But we actually go to that particular place which are not known to people, or very rare, or far from the city, and then we actually find them what is the requirement. Based on our budget, we try to collect some fund, and then fill up their necessity for the day or for that particular month. Yeah. So like that, we have
that's
done something around 15 to 16 NGOs so far, if I'm not wrong. Yep. We keep covering. We keep covering. At least we try to do it at least, in a month one, or monthly twice. Based on that particular, availability of volunteers, we do that.
that's really nice, because a lot of people they go to NGOs here probably nearby, and everyone is going to the NGO which is close by to them, and what ends up happening is that they are overcrowded.
True,
They
true.
are
Yeah, yeah.
like sometimes they have rice for like 6 to 8 months, and people are still bringing in rice and all the
Absolutely.
groceries.
I have this example, like, we happen to, locate one particular NGO where we asked them the time, hey, can you please allow us some time where we can actually come with our team? They said, sir, you can actually come within 4 to 5 in the evening. When we called them while we're starting right from our place, our home location, they even again gave up a rank saying that, sir, you can actually come from 5 to 6, because some other person are coming, some other volunteers group are coming from 4 to 5, and we are shifting your particular timings. So this really makes overcrowded or excess in need. So we don't want that to happen. It's actually something, you don't have something, and we are actually providing, our team is providing something to that. It's that way which things get worked out. So we find that necessity, and then we actually can provide whatever we can provide from our end. We do the small little need.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people, who are very passionate about donating and everything, but then the resources they don't, get distributed equally in the orphanages. Like you mentioned, there's like one orphanage where everyone's hoarding, all the groceries and toiletries and everything, and then there's like one orphanage just 5 to 10 kilometers away from there, and nobody's going over there.
True,
And
yeah.
and that it's great. It's great to hear that that's something you're focusing on rather than just getting done with the deed. That's like usually people are like they have that mindset, just like just get it done.
It's a group
That's great.
initiative, I can say, Rahman, for that matter. It's everybody's. It's not only me who's giving my time. It's not only the second person. It's the whole team. I told you, right? So it's everybody's. Aspect. It's everybody's thing that they wanted to do something out of the time. They wanted to actually create some impact, create something to the people who are in need, and that's our call. We go, we make things, we set up a schedule to them, and then, yep, we make things done.
So, Deepak bhai, why don't you tell us about how did you get into dubbing? Obviously, from for people who are listening, they would know कि he has a very good voice, and there's a really deep voice. And sometimes I'm trying to edit and put some more, reduce the pitch of my voice so that I sound good. But then tell us a little bit about like how did you get into dubbing and everything?
True, true. Really, really, thanks, Rahman. It's actually, a thing or interest which really, which I could realize 2 years before the voice of mine. It's not like somebody telling you something. Hey, do this, do that. Why can't you go for this course? Why can't you join a badminton course? Why can't you go for a fitness? It's like I realizing my own skill. Now, everybody has their own skill, For that matter, Rahman, your voice is amazing. My voice is same as yours. So it's just, I happen to realize my own skill. I happen to know my own skill. Like, hey, my voice is something similar or same to somebody's, some other person. So why can't I, create, or why can't I give my voice? Why can't I lend my voice to somebody? And in this particular huge dubbing industry, or voiceover industry, we have lot many people right there who are actually in this particular voice-based industry. So yeah, I happen to try myself. I'm comfortable in three different languages, which is my base language is Telugu, and then English, and then Hindi. Yep, I'm learning. As I told you, it's a everyday process. You know, it's a day learning. It's a day learning, I can say. You know, and then short films. I did happen to give some voiceovers, some short films, and yeah, now I'm trying myself to connect with the character dubbing. Given a character, how do you actually dub for the particular character? And now actually I'm a bit low in terms of voice, but my voice is really high when you are alive. When you're face to face, I try to set myself also, hey, I should not go much of louder than this pitch. So it's a god gift, I can say. you know so people who are actually interested or keen in this particular dubbing industry, they can try themselves. They can actually see. I told you, right? Every voice is good. You go to a dubbing studio, every voice they'll take, but you should know the techniques, how to, change your voice, first thing, how to actually sing the voice. So these are different steps, which I am also not aware of, and I am just in the stage one or step one, I can say, and trying myself. Yeah, with the same space, I can just tell that I did happen to do a couple of 4 to 5 advertisements so far, and still in the stage one of learning stage. And yeah, definitely I have some future plans to extend this learning forward.
So that's nice. You said you go to the dubbing studio. What was your first time going to a dubbing studio? How did it feel like? And like, did you already know like who to approach? Like, now I want to go into dubbing. Like, what is the next step? Like, how did
True,
you
true,
figure
really
out?
great. So, if I can say one thing I've done is like, as I told you, I did create some sort of network within my area. So, be it a person who is known to the industry, be it a person who works in some different crafts. Like we have something called 24 crafts, right? In the industry. So 24 crafts includes dubbing. Dubbing is one of the craft of 24 crafts. And what I've done is like I did actually go to studios at the initial stage, different studios. I did give my voice, say, hey, I just wanted to, do some sort of dubbing, some sort of voiceovers, and I have my voice with me. So lively, I went to the studios, I approached people, I gave the sample to them, and that's what I could do. So it happened around something around 1 year or 1.5 year plus. So I keep rotating the process, because I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody in the field. Nobody knows who is Deepak. Nobody knows who is Adrusta Deepak, for that matter. Just I'm a normal person. Now, with that particular, example, what I've done before, slowly people started calling me. So, be it for bit characters, be it for, a 30-second ad, be it for, a 3 hours event, that's how, the progress is going on. I could say that this is out of my passion, which I'm doing it, you know, trying to manage things from my personal space and professional space. With my job, parallelly handling things is not that easy, but yeah, trying my level best in and out to make it happen.
So you give your samples, you go to the different dubbing studio, you say hi, hello, what's up, and you give your samples. So eventually people come to know, oh, this is this guy, Deepak and everything. So like, how are there some tips or something, like you do or you utilize so that your voice stays better? Because sometimes, probably you are emceeing somewhere and probably you're hosting an event, probably you're organizing, your voice probably gets strained, or for life in general. Like, do you have any tips for people who might be watching, listening, or myself even for that matter,
Sure, sure.
that, we can improve our voices?
Definitely. First thing is, we definitely, as I know, I told you, right, I'm pretty much short, and whatever experiences I had so far, I could share that. Not much of experience that I hold, but I can say that, we can keep practicing. It comes to the same phrase again, practice, which always makes a man perfect. Quoting that phrase, we actually can practice a lot. Seeing some sort of character which you like, taking some advertisement, repeating that particular voice, making that particular voice on the other hand, and making that particular film mute, and then create a particular own voice to that particular film, and then you can collage both and see how the difference makes. So the best thing I did, it's like, practicing, keep trying my voice and having a good rest for the voice. So if you have a good or proper nap, our voice actually will be relaxed, and then it'll come very high in the morning, in the early mornings. So that's what I observed. In the early mornings, your voice will be very high. Anybody can actually observe it for that matter. And I'm actually still trying it. Reading a newspaper is very, very important. Be it Telugu, whichever language you want, be it Telugu, English, or Hindi for that matter, because I initially faced something like, hey, given a script, they asked me to read. Okay. They asked me to read directly on spot. They don't give you the script before. So, given a script, how do you actually tell it in one go without any takes? That is really very important. So, there comes your communication skills. How do you communicate that particular sentence or that particular dialogue in an effective way? So if a person is taking 5-6 times and the second person is taking only one time, I think the person who's taking one time will go forward, because everywhere we have this competition. And yes, indeed, we'll just have to notice or make sure, what is our skill, what is our talent up to, and what we are passionate about. End of the day, it's not everything which we have around matters. It matters what our passion is up to. So that's where I'm trying myself to fit into that particular field or interest I'm keen about, and yeah, it goes on.
So, like basically sleeping, like sleeping on time and reading a newspaper aloud. Are there any voice exercises you do?
Voice exercises, like, the basic exercise which I do is like, the Om chanting, and speaking a bit louder. So if I speak now, right now, you can see my voice is very high. So this way, I I try to, uh, speak in front of a mirror. This is, my personal exercise which I do. And second thing is newspaper, which I take up, and in any language for that matter, your basic accent should be there. So some people think that, we have a British accent, we have some other UK accent. we try to fit that particular accent. No, we'll not get that easy, because the native speakers will have that particular accent. So I tried myself to change my particular voice, which is not that easy, but it's my basic language which I know, right from my schooling, you know, uh, right from my college. Whatever accent I have, how I brought up in that particular accent, I will have the same accent. So in the same thing, I'm trying myself to fit into that particular voices.
Makes sense. Instead of trying to, like sound like XYZ, you have to try to sound like yourself. That's what you're saying.
True, true.
Yeah. And whatever, like, whatever accent we have, whatever, like, however we sound, we have to embrace that and, accept that instead of trying to sound American or British or whatever, like Chinese or whatever, right? And
True, true.
and with this, I want to move into this something, I actually am curious about is people who do different things, people who do great things, they have certain character traits and that bring them to wherever they are today in life. So I want to know what do you think are the character traits that have attributed to who you are today and, the success you have had.
Okay, character traits. If you can more simplify it.
Yeah, character traits like some people think they are disciplined, like nobody's more disciplined than them in the entire world, or like, at least in Hyderabad or something like that. So do you think there's like a specific quality that you have which have or qualities for that matter which have attributed to your success?
Yeah, definitely. So I can definitely say that my mom, I have learned discipline. I've learned, the managing skills or everything from my mom. She basically is a dancer, so she takes up, classical dances. She's an Indian classical dancer and a Natya guru. So for that, she takes up with different students out there, and till from my start till now, whatever I'm doing, it's all about you know her knowledge, her management skills, or her discipline is what is in line with. Basically, people will have, hey, say so and so person is what I wanted to become or something. I just wanted to take some inputs from my mom. So I generally discuss with her, hey mom, this is what is happening, and how do I actually take up with this? So this kind of things, whatever I could say is I can learn from them, from my mom, and also my parents, my grandparents. They are retired now in a particular field, so they are into they have done retirement in mathematics and Telugu language. So from them, so when I'm small till now, so I told you, right? They didn't force me or pressure me to do Deepak. You have to make these things done at this particular point of time. 10th done, you have to go for an engineering or take up some YPC books and keep studying. Go for a medical, write this test, write that test. So I was not brought up as such. I was like, Deepak, it's up to you. I think very well, well in that particular place. You can do whatever you want. So they gave me that kind of freedom. So I definitely say that, till now, till today, I definitely learned from them, and with, be it what, be it discipline, be it management skills, the routine aspect which we do. I definitely take my mentorship from them. Not only them, I have a couple of people and mentors in my corporate as well. So I just talk to them and say, hey, this is what is going, because experience, there is a code which says, which I have written myself. I'm a content writer as well. So so I just, you can just go up to my Instagram and then check few of the codes which came up to my thought. It's not like uh, something I've created myself, but yeah, something in my thought. Experience to be an expertise. So the more you experience things, you know the more you can be an expertise in that particular field. So this is what I can double code and say. I do take experience mentorship that kind of mentorship from my mentors out there. And hey, this is what is going on. How can I actually make it more easy? So things get really hard, in a journey everywhere. Somewhere or something, we get stuck. Oh, what's happening with this? Where do I move? Do I move forward? Do I stop here only? So it's actually a learning process every day, if I can quote. All the things, whatever we have, are not not constant, not fixed. We just have to keep moving according to the flow, according to the livelihood. That's what.
So, generally when I recall about, Desi families, there's one thing I usually joke about. It's like there's only four things you can become in a Desi family: doctor, engineer, lawyer, or a failure. So,
True.
so this is something, I joke about. But then, it's really nice to see, your parents are really supportive of the thing. But I just want to know that when you said, I'm going into dubbing, not like entirely into dubbing, but I'm going to take up dubbing, what was their first reaction?
Definitely. They said that, Deepak, go ahead, but make sure that, you know, you are, you're not completely into that particular aspect. Completely in the sense, see, just now, I just started, earning a little of bucks right now, and then in the job role, whichever I'm doing, and then if I switch all of a sudden into dubbing, so what is that? What is the second call if you're not going to get? Let's say today I've just called one call saying that, hey, Deepak, you have to come for so and so script and just take up that dubbing. Now tomorrow, if I don't get that particular call, what is the situation? So I lose my job. Eventually, I'll not have any other work, and then I'll be stuck. They said that make sure that you're balancing both of them at a point of time. And yeah, once you get an expertise in the field, so it takes a lot of time to become an expertise. Nobody's an expert for that matter, but experience again. Let's say I have 10 years or 5 years or 4 years of experience, then it's a very good experience that they hold than a beginner like me. Definitely. Right. So in that particular stage, I can actually make a switch or a move. So what they said is you will have to balance, Deepak, at this point of time. And yeah, I'm trying myself to, engage both and balance it either way around.
So, as we're approaching time almost, we have these questions called the perspective questions, so that we bring life into a little more perspective. So, if you could go 5 or maybe 10 years back with the same knowledge, what would you do differently?
That's a great question, actually. Same knowledge, same, aspects around me, 10 years down the line, right?
10
Great,
years
great. So
back in time.
definitely, I did actually try few couple of things, like be it my own, event organizer, event management. I did have my small event management company where I used to handle some sort of parties and all. With the same knowledge, same things. Definitely, time is the main constant. We happen to go according to the flow, as I said. You know, be it if I would given a chance 10 years down the line, definitely I would really be more focused and take up initiatives and make things happen which I could not do or which I was stuck at this point of time. Yeah.
Very well
I think
said.
that's all.
So if you could, sorry?
I think that could answer my question, your question.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, if you could meet three people, or if you could have a dinner with three people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Definitely, I did have the opportunity to meet the great legend, if I can say, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So when I was in my schooling, I did had the opportunity to meet him once. So it's really super amazing. By that time, I was, hey, just come, giving some speech. I think it's my fifth standard or fourth standard, I believe. You know, he's just come, he's giving some speech as everybody. He's a great leader. I was like, in that kind of thing. But now he's not with us. So it's really, honor, his life story or life history, whatever he has taken up, is really inspiration to the youngsters like me and you, everybody out there. And really, we can have much of learnings from him in the day-to-day aspect as well. So yeah.
So three people, you just mentioned one. So APJ Abdul Kalam and
Okay. And second one is, okay, definitely my mentor out there. So I'll have to name them. My mentor and one of my, the close friend.
oh, perfect. So APJ Abdul Kalam, your mentor and your close friend.
True.
So don't you get time with your close friend that you this is like a golden
No, it's
opportunity.
like, yes. It's like, in this busy life, we definitely have that one friend, whom we share everything with, right? And that friend will not be always available. I quote it
Yeah.
because we do have our own friends, whom we meet every day, whom we connect with, but there will be one particular friend whom who he doesn't have 1 minute also to talk over a call. So so I will definitely take him into consideration because, hey, I call him every time and say, hey, why you're not giving a call, why you're not answering me? Because he said that, hey, I'm just running up, man. So this is how, and that's where I put up his name, put up his point of view. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So, any last words you want to say to the people out there who might be listening, youngsters like myself, and just any final words before we wrap up?
Sure, Rahman. So it's really, it actually gives me uh, immense pleasure right now to talk to you before. And I really find not so, my story or my journey is just started and I'm the beginning stage. And I was like, hey, what is this, man? Rahman is asking for a podcast. Did I really do something? Or, it's just, okay. Well, I could again recall myself, key, it's just initial step. I can call it as, step one, or I told you, right? The second space. Second space, if I can term it as second space, a beginning space or something like that. So it really makes me happy on the podcast because this is my first ever podcast, which I am doing it right now, and I really had some plans also to make up some podcast with something like this, which you're doing, and really appreciate your time, Rahman, for taking up this particular call, and making things, connected around you within your network. So, and to the viewers or to the listeners out there, thank you very much. I think I don't have any philosophy statements right now, but I just I just have one thing is like, stay focused, stay amazing, stay healthy. Thank you very much. This is Adrusta Deepak signing off.
So, last question, Deepak, before we wrap off, is where's the best place people can find you?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm active on LinkedIn. You can actually type my name, Adrusta Deepak Rudravarapu. So there's my full name, and I'll be active on LinkedIn. I'll be active on Instagram, and yep, you can find me there. So people who are, who are like-minded people who keep speaking, who keep talking, they can catch me on Clubhouse as well. You go to Clubhouse, I'll be there. Yeah, with the same
I didn't
name
know
I have.
Clubhouse was like active in India as well.
Yes, it is active in India. So it's a really good opportunity for people who are taking in the best way possible. So Clubhouse is like, I find few people who are into the same voice-based industry as well. So that's really an added advantage, right? So people who are making a podcast, people who are onto some debate, people who are actually want to speak. That's it. In this times, right from COVID and all, we don't tend to find people or connect with people, you know, uh, in life. So we just take up a call, have some conversation. That's all, right? We just restrict it to our place. So Clubhouse actually makes something, we do open up, we do talk, and that's a really good platform. Using in an effective way. Yeah.
That's with everything. So, people listening and watching, this brings us to the end of the interview. You heard it from the man himself, Adrusta Deepak. You guys know what to do. Stay blessed. Keep taking action. We will catch you in the next one.